style. Just forget about life for a while. See the world through our eyes. Under picture perfect skies. It just makes me wanna, hey, 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 let's get away from your mind just once in a while. I wanna, hey, 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 just come away with a smile. Do, 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 do,
The Adventures of Mark and Brian will be right back. We now return to the adventures of Mark and Brian. Hi, we're Mark and Brian. Welcome to the show.
We have an adventure this week that not a lot of people get to do.
No?
But now that it's cleared up and everything's set up and ready to go, we are very pumped about this.
We're also very nervous
Yes,
about
we are.
this. We are going shark cage diving. Ever since we saw the movie Jaws, we've had a fear and fascination of sharks. Now, we were finally going to get the chance to face one of our deepest fears.
We're going to be lowered in a steel cage into shark-infested waters. And if we're feeling brave enough, we may even take a chance and swim out of the cage and actually hand-feed a hungry shark.
So naturally, the first stop on our underwater adventure was Universal Studios to visit the 8,000-pound star of Jaws.
Not like we're going to be scared or anything.
Oh! Oh, very funny. Oh.
The star from Jaws caught us just a bit off guard. So we decided if we're gonna go shark cage diving, we've got to be totally prepared.
So we drove down to Long Beach to hook up with shark expert Steve Whitaker, who was going to get us ready to meet some real live sharks face to face.
You guys are really serious about this. I mean, there's some stuff you gotta do, some real basics. You gotta learn how to swim, so take some swimming lessons. You gotta learn a lot about sharks.
Sharks are misunderstood.
Totally misunderstood.
Have there ever been any accidents? Any actual bitings on one of your excursions?
My excursions, none. Zero.
You are lying through your
I am
teeth.
telling you the
I
truth.
was just going to say, can we get a shot of this? This is a great-looking wooden leg, isn't it?
Yeah, wooden leg.
If we were going to learn how to survive in the water, then there was only one person we were going to let teach us.
Well, Lloyd, you must understand that we are, first of all, big fans. We grew up with Sea Hunt. And as kids, watching you flip off the back of the boat into the water in your scuba outfit, that's the reason we wanted you to come and show us how to properly do this.
Make way for Lloyd Bridges.
Lloyd Bridges on the way.
The king of underwater adventure, a man we had idolized as kids, and a guy who just plain looks cool jumping off the back of a boat.
Say we ran into a shark down there. What kind of advice could you give us?
I would say get in that cage as soon as you possibly can.
The cage is good.
Is there any emergency procedures you can go through if we're out of the cage and a shark wants to attack us?
Just reach out and go like that, both of his eyes like that.
Like the Three Stooges thing?
Yeah.
Well, what if the shark goes like this?
You've got to do that first.
Okay. Okay. All right, Lloyd, if you could just fill us in now what we're supposed to do to look cool, to go over the side of the boat backwards like you did.
All right, everything's ready now. Don't forget to put your hand on your mask. Now hold it. And your legs together so you look pretty. And, all right, on three, huh? 1, 2, 3, go! Hey! This is down like professional.
How'd it look?
Look beautiful.
Damn! Did it! All right!
After thoroughly impressing Lloyd and our camera crew with our underwater prowess, we decided that since we're going to spend most of this episode underwater, we need coaching on how to look good wet.
So we contacted an expert in the field, Sports Illustrated cover model Ashley Montana.
Y'all ready to go swimming?
Yes, we are. The reason why we want to talk to you is because we're spending most of this show, we understand, wet. And you look great wet. The Sports Illustrated swimsuit thing. And we were just...
I think you're doing very well. I really do. I think it's coming together here.
Should we
take these things off?
Yes, please take them off. What?
What?
Take it off.
What is so funny? What is so funny?
And try that trick. That trick. I
Coming
taught
up?
you. That coming up. Make sure your hair is back and just lightly with your hands over your face.
Okay. Oh, yes!
Not really the best. Oh. Beautiful. Beautiful. You work so well together.
What do you think? How do we look wet?
You look better wet. I think you guys should.
Shark expert Steve told us to learn as much about sharks and the ocean environment as possible. So we thought it would be a smart idea to start with some marine animals who didn't want to eat us.
We hooked up with SeaWorld trainer Al Garber, who is going to help us prepare Baby Shamu's breakfast. 150 pounds of raw mackerel.
And we can go on in here and introduce you to everybody.
I got a feeling this is going to be gross.
Big
So
dogs.
go ahead and just put layers of fish in each one. Not once.
Farewell and adieu to you fair Spanish ladies. Farewell and adieu to you ladies of Spain.
There's a bright golden haze on the meadow.
But don't throw ice on me. He's gonna throw ice. I know he's gonna throw ice. See, I told you, man, I told you. No, well, I mean, we gotta get it right because we don't want Shamu to overeat. All right, let's see what else we got to do.
You know, they tell us we're going to do something very brave, very manly, like shark cage diving. Right. And what are we doing?
Scrubbing buckets.
There you go. There you go. Scrubbing buckets at SeaWorld.
Need a little room for the Gilligan's Island Typhoon impersonation. Here we go. Gilligan from Gilligan's Island during a typhoon.
Skipper! Skipper! Skipper!
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Even Mark's son Matthew had his doubts about our well-being.
Matt, what do you think about your daddy going out to swim with the sharks?
The sharks will eat him.
The sharks will eat him.
Let's hear that line again. The sharks will eat him.
Because dolphins have great speed and intelligence, they have the ability to defend themselves against sharks.
Because we are slow-moving and not so intelligent,
That'd be us.
we thought we'd go to Dolphin Stadium to pick up some underwater techniques from our fellow mammals.
All right. Stand back. You also get wet in this job. I heard Brian go, you better step.
Well, first of all, it's an awfully neat feeling to know that with these sticks and with our intelligence, we can control these porpoises and dolphins.
In fact, I can control Mark with this stick.
Watch carefully.
With the dive only a few days away, we had to leave the friendly confines of SeaWorld.
So we flew to San Francisco to see world-famous shark scientist Dr. John McCosker and complete our crash course in Sharks 101.
Obviously, sharks is your thing. You're deeply interested. What is it that you love so much about sharks?
Sharks are mysterious. Sharks are hard to understand. When you get in the water with them, you'll appreciate that.
What about the theory that sharks are just nothing but eating machines? Is that true? They eat and they breed and that's it?
The sharks could say the same thing about people. They eat, they breed, that's it.
Some better than others. You know, I just hope that we meet the shark that lost these in the water. Now, that'd be okay.
A gumless shark.
All right, you're familiar with the cage that we're going to be going down in?
Yes.
Okay. Now, can this shark break through that cage?
Certainly. But it's probably not going to. Yeah, certainly, you know,
but it's probably not going to.
But look at that shark, sir. Its biting strength is several thousand pounds. It can take an elephant seal larger than you, larger than both of you side by side, crunch them both, and put it in its stomach literally without having to chew on it.
We should maybe talk.
Yeah, maybe.
You know.
2,000 pounds of bone-crushing jaw power? He could break right through the cage?
Seems the more we found out about sharks, the more we wondered, should we be doing this?
Don't touch that remote.
We're coming right back. Back to our show.
The Adventures of Mark and Brian.
Well, I'm boating.
We only had one hurdle left before Steve would let us go down and dive with the sharks.
We had to become certified scuba divers at the College of Oceaneering.
Boating.
We're here for the scuba training. We're going to be swimming with the sharks.
Okay, who are you supposed to talk to?
By the way, I love your song, Straight Up. You were great on that album.
Go it for us.
Straight up now, tell me, do you really want to love me forever? Ow, ow, ow.
Sir, we're here to sign up for the diving program. Little attitude from the guy. Won't even shake your
Obviously
hand.
seems to be the case. The first thing I need to talk to you guys about is the compressibility.
The idea of shark diving was frightening enough, but it was nothing compared to these classes where we learned all about the unbelievably scary things that can happen to you while diving.
And this is where we got to be concerned about a possible lung rupture situation. And here again, this is between a 33 and 0 is the most critical area involved.
Do you know what we're going to do here in the show? This particular episode?
Well, I've been hearing about sharks.
Well, since you're, as you're explaining, so near death by just scuba diving itself, I mean, I suppose a shark wouldn't bother you. The lung could explode at any time. Your brains could seep out of your ears. There's a shark, who cares? Now that we'd boned up on our doomsday diving techniques, it was time to get fitted into our diving helmets and test our equipment underwater.
You'll hurt me.
I help him.
No, he'll hurt me.
I won't hurt you.
He will. Watch.
Look, I know how to
Watch.
do it. We're fixing it.
Brian, don't
hurt me. Hang it there.
Don't
Hold
promise
it.
me
Hold
you
it.
won't
You look
hurt
like the kid in Bazooka Gum.
Where are you supposed to be?
Well,
now just get that on up here a
No,
little
no,
closer.
no, you go yank
I will.
it. You'll yank
I'm
it.
not
You'll
gonna
hurt
yank
me.
it.
Yes,
I'm
you
not
are.
going to yank it. I wouldn't do that. Watch. Just watch.
Oh, see, I told you. I told you he's going to hurt me.
You want more free flow air? Right there, okay?
Did you understand that? Did you get that? You all right? You understand? Everything good?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
I understood it.
All right, good.
Put feet on my head.
All right, what's going on? When you get down water.
What?
You down the water, can I get ready for you?
Right.
All right? All right? Okay, and never puberty. If you go and do it down the water, you might not, you go and buy some bleed.
I don't like him. I really don't.
Okay, guys, here's what I got you doing. All right, one at a time. I want you to secure your main air. Just turn off your supply. Tilt your hat sideways. Open your neck dam and get the hat flooded full of water. Then stand upright and blow the hat dry using the main air. Roger.
Until you've been 20 feet below the surface, sealed inside of a hard hat, completely flooded with water, you truly haven't seen a good time.
Diver okay?
That was a blast. How's my hair look?
Guys, now how do you feel about what you're going to do?
Well, if it's like that, fine. You know, no sharks. No sharks were down there.
Just one big bottle of water.
But so we can do this. Would this make a good episode, just swimming around there? You all right?
We feel this is what America truly wants to see.
Be okay?
Yeah.
To complete our diving certification, we had to make it through a simulated deep ocean dive in the College of Oceaneering's hyperbolic test chamber. The chamber simulates nitrogen narcosis, which is what you get when you dive too deep for too long. Once they lock you inside, they increase the air pressure to simulate what it's like 160 feet underwater. At this depth, weird things start to happen. Your mood changes, and so does your voice.
On the bottom.
Why do I feel like singing a Bee Gees tune right now? How can you miss a broken heart? You know, the terrible thing about it is, my voice actually doesn't sound that different. Yours does.
Okay, guys, let's go with the balloons. We got about a minute left before we leave bottom. Roger.
Yeah, okay, hang on a second.
Yeah, Roger, blow them up.
Why do I feel embarrassed to look anybody in the eye?
How do you feel?
It was a super blast.
Flip that thing back on again.
It was the morning of the dive.
Our boat, the King Neptune, was being loaded with all the necessary gear. No more scuba lessons, no more classroom training, no more second chances.
We were going 26 miles offshore in 6,000 feet of water to face one of the most dangerous predators on Earth. Well, it should be pretty exciting, but a little apprehensive, a little nerve.
No question. You see, again, when we heard last night that the crew has been chumming for 2 days, there's truly no telling what kind of sharks have been attracted.
Mom, Dad, love you. All right, one last thing. Yeah. Limb count. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, can we keep track of these?
We were shark diving last week. It was pretty good.
Get out of here.
Farewell and adieu to your fair Spanish ladies.
Every shark diver must learn the seafaring tradition of chumming, which entails grinding up raw fish and dumping this high-sea cocktail into the water to attract sharks.
So nevermore till we see you again.
I will give you $10. $10 if you take a sip of this.
Man, I'll throw up just thinking about the bet.
$15.
Forget it.
$20.
Not enough money in the world to make me sip that.
I'll let you see my Popeye tapes.
Today?
Yeah.
The old days, we get the chum. What do? You take it. Go! Now you chew it. When we get close, spit it out, and when we chum that way. It's not that bad, guys. Come on.
While we were enjoying the finer art of chumming, I think you could use just a touch of basil.
Could be some more paprika in there. Basil?
Other folks were making sure that this massive amount of equipment was all ready to go. Back in the galley, Steve Whitaker, our personal shark wrangler, had deep-sea shark stories of his own to tell us.
Look behind you. He turns around and he looks. This is the scariest experience we had. A shark, the mako, about 8-footer, goes boom, right in front of him. And if you see a mako, they got teeth, big teeth.
All right, you're probably thinking that we're, kind of wimpy because we're a little nervous about this, but we want you people to know out there that we are as tough and as manly as they come.
Just sit right back and hear a tale of a fateful pair that started on a shark cage dive on a 3-hour tour on NBC.
Oh, God! Look at this. And here, duct tape.
God, okay.
Yeah, that's gonna ward off those sharks, boy. Oh, yeah.
We need to seriously rethink this.
Unfortunately, there wasn't going to be time for any backing out. The King Neptune was about to rendezvous with our support ship, the Argo, who had been out chumming away, attracting who knows what.
So it was time to throw on the wetsuits. Word was there were already several blue sharks in the area.
About a 15-foot mako, isn't it?
Thereabouts. Look like a great white to me, man.
And you said a shark's going to be going for the color yellow. It just so happens that my helmet is yellow and my head is inside the helmet.
That's right. So that's why we have the camera housing yellow and your helmet. That protects me.
Well, I'm glad that you're covered.
Yeah.
I know Brian feels better about it.
Well, Brian was the one that came up with the color scheme.
Thanks for thinking of me
I'm
on
the
that.
inexperienced one here. By this time, we'd thrown over enough fish guts to attract Moby Dick.
The sharks were in a sociable mood, and the crew felt the conditions were just right for the dive.
It was actually time to do this thing.
No apprehension. There are sharks in the water, and he just goes.
Tell him into this that we're calm.
I can't lie. We're not calm.
We're ready to go now. We'll dress you out, get you in.
Brian.
Yo.
See you down there, man.
Pardon me?
See you down there.
All right, see you down there.
This is the worst part. You just sit here and you wait.
This was it, going down to the cage. And wouldn't you know it, after all this worrying about getting eaten, no sharks.
See any?
Nope, no sharks at all. After a while, we were beginning to feel there weren't going to be any sharks. But then...
Whoa, look down there, straight down, straight down.
Oh, man.
A big one.
He's eating on that bait, too, man. Oh, shark right by us.
Where?
Right, look, Brian, look. Right off the side. Right there, man. Look at this. Look at this, 2 of them right here beside us, not 6 inches from this cage. That one in the back is bigger. Oh, man, look, Brian, up here by the boat. That shark's chewing down on that barracuda. You see that?
Yeah, I got it.
Wow. Wow. That is so cool. Oh my God, here comes a big one. Oh, look how big. Oh my God, that's amazing. All right, there are 3 sharks that are visible in the water at all times now. Here we go. Yeah, take it, take it. Here it comes. It's taking it. Oh, did you see how close that was? You rubbed my hand. The shark? Almost took the bait, yeah. Here comes one right toward the cage.
The sharks just wouldn't eat out of our hands as long as we were inside our steel protection.
Our only chance to feed them would be to leave the cage and swim out in the water among them. But the question was, would we be safe?
This is pretty neat, too, because when the sharks bite into their bait, their eyes roll back in their head. So do mine.
Oh, wow. Hey, Steve, would it be all right, you think, if we got out of the cage and just sort of sat on top?
All right, look, I'm going to let you out there for a couple of minutes, but if anything strange starts to happen, I want you out of the water fast.
They're all over. Look at that huge one.
Not only were there more sharks now, but they were getting closer and closer every minute.
I can see 4 sharks. This is amazing, and I'm swimming outside the cage. I never thought I would do this. Here it comes.
Watch his bait. I can tell it's hungry. Come on, take it. Take it. Take the bait. Oh, no, it bit me in the helmet. Did you see that?
Here it comes. Here it comes. Right below you, Mark. Right below you. We got lunch. Look it. Look it.
Oh, this thing's eating out of my hand.
There it goes. There it goes.
I can't believe how strong this thing is.
Hey, Mark. Hey, that thing was strong. Yeah, it looked like he was tugging on you. Look, 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 look. It's another one. He's right on top of us. Look.
Guys, this is topside. There's too many sharks down there. It's not safe. We want you up here immediately.
You want us out of the water?
Yeah, right now.
Oh, let me step out.
Here's what, that was incredible. Right there toward the end. They looked like they went into some sort of
Snapshackle spring.
feeding thing.
Right,
They
started going kooky, right?
Yeah, they all started coming around, and they were all right there by that bag bait. If we can swim with sharks, pretty much anybody can. And we want to introduce you to Steve Whitaker, as you might have met during the show. He's the guy that made it possible, went and brought sharks to us, so it can happen. And he just loves it when you do this. We invite you to join us next week here on The Adventures of Mark and Brian. See you then. We appreciate it, Joe. Come back now, you hear?
We thought we'd take a break here.
So you can watch some commercials.
Dating Machine with advice from Cheers' Woody Harrelson and tips from Wink's Crystal Bernard. You'll watch a first date from inside Mark and Brian's surveillance van.
If you need us, scratch your nose. He needs us. He just scratched his nose.
TV's first real-life remote control date on the next Mark and Brian, NBC next Sunday.
If you'd like to suggest an adventure for us to try, we'd love to hear from you.
Write us at The Adventures of Mark and Brian, P.O. Box 2100, Santa Monica, California, 90407.
Next, it's one of the weirdest new shows on TV.
I'm Marshall Teller, and this is an eerie update. Man's best friend turns evil. Details to follow on the all-new episode of Erie, Indiana.
And Monday, it's a terrific hour of all-new comedy with Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and Blossom, starting Monday at 8, 7 Central on NBC.